What reminds you about homeless? For most people, the image is dirty, lazy bones, and probably have mental illness. But there's something you must remember. In 2006, 3 teenagers attacked 3 homeless men at one night and captured by the camera. And Norris was dead after the swinging of the baseball bat, and his skull was crushed. Next year in Taiwan, Mr. Zhou was the same beaten to death by a baseball bat. But this time, the perpetrator is not a teenager, but a convenience store owner. The reason why he killed Mr. Zhou is because of his stealing. But what did he steal? Food, clothes, or money? No, what he wants is newspaper. What kind of information did he die for? He wants to know more about the story of Yankee pitcher Wang Jianming. We call it the glory of Taiwan. Taiwan is not a member of the United Nations, and we were not allowed to join many international activities. So for many years, baseball and baseball players have become a channel for Taiwanese feel being accepted in the international society. And also with the promotion of commercial media and politicians, everyone feels that it's important to update our knowledge about Wang Jianming. So this information is not just about entertainment, not just about sport. It's also about social participation and even national identity building. However, some people were not allowed to join this discussion, and they were forced to stay in the information darkness. Because in this so-called information society, there are 2 characteristics of a trend. The first is try to transform information into a kind of commodity. And according to Christopher May, the point in so-called information society is to control the access to knowledge. So under this social structure, homeless people were being treated as media target because they are valuable, sensational news product. At the same time, they are information poor. They have no access to health, food, and information. Let's see the mainstream media and homeless people. Usually mainstream media strengthen the stereotype by building a binary structure, normal people and abnormal people. And usually there are 2 kinds of news report. One is crime-related report, another is philanthropist report. In crime-related report, usually there are 3 actors, normal citizens versus homeless people, and there's government. And normal citizens feel being threatened by homeless people, and they request for state intervention. And to respond, normal citizens request the police can and expel homeless people from public space, and usually promise to patrol more often. However, in this kind of discourse, first, it dismisses the question. We probably discussed that yesterday. Who has the right to decide the use of public space? The question was disappeared. And second, it creates antagonism between citizens, that is normal citizens versus abnormal citizens. And it also legitimizes the administration's monopoly power over public space and forced citizens to obtain permission from the administration to use the space. For example, if we want to go to demonstration right now, it's too late. We got to need permission. And it's not only about homeless people. For example, some indigenous people in Taiwan, they were forced to leave their hometown. They have to go to a city to find a job. However, it's impossible to afford a house in the city. So usually they build their own house in the margin, in the suburbs, near mountain or near river. And for decades, the government keeps threatening to destroy their home. And the guy in the middle, some people might know him. He is the film director, Hou Xiaoxian. And his film, City of Sadness, won Golden Lion Award in 1989. He and other people shaved their hair to protest the state violence, to indigenous people. So later we can join. Another kind of report is philanthropist report, and usually it's regular in Chinese New Year. And politicians and social leaders and important NGOs, they will host a dinner party for homeless people. Like this one, there are 700 tables, and give them money. And at this time, you will have our handsome president and our capitalist work for you as a waiter. Isn't that good? Yeah. And because in Chinese New Year, usually it's a time for family reunion. And basically people have to stay in father's or husband's home. So basically it's heterosexual family. So if you are an outsider of the heterosexual family, don't worry. We have politicians and the social leaders will play the role as the head of the big family. So it's a time for public benching. Now we see who is the outsider. It's also a public philanthropic performance that our society is warm and kind, and problems must come from individuals. And it also disciplines the society to take the appropriate role in this capitalistic and patriarchal society. You got to be diligent workers and members of heterosexual families. So, commercial media earns profits by peeking into homeless people's personal stories. And the administration acquires a role as tough, normal citizens protector. And also they are benign head of the big family. That is the mainstream media. But however history changed, let's see the emergence of Piaobo News Network. Piaobo means nomads in Taiwanese dialect. And it started from a discussion group which aims to provide a comfortable place for homeless people to discuss whatever they want, usually news or whatever they want. And in October, they were discussing 4 homeless news in a major newspaper and in prominent space. The first story is 2 words in Taipei train station. A lot of homeless people stay in train station at night. So that is a rich wife turned to be abandoned wife, patrol the station every night. And the second story is midnight playground. Homeless play there. And the third story is homeless people need love, hold a prostitute, and have a good time in small hotel. And the last one is homeless people need to work, holding signs, and earn few hundred. Which one you guys want to read? Desperate Wife or a small hotel? Actually, which caught their attention is the last one. Homeless people need to work. And that is the first time the discussion is enthusiastically, and they express their anger to the inaccurate mainstream media report. Because in that report, holding advertising signs on the street for 8 hours, they can earn like less than $10. And according to the report, that's a good money because you can get 2 bottles of rice wine and a box lunch. But actually, it's wrong. The normal wage is around $27. And people cannot believe, how can they devalue our job? It's a very difficult job. And they also worry that employer might lower the wage because of the report. So they start to discuss, what can we do? And at the same time, the public TV station in Taiwan set up a website to encourage citizen journalism. That makes people easier to have access to communication technology. So they decided to build a website and also made the first video news to tell people the real situation of homeless people's sign holding job. If we have time later, we will see the news. So that's the first news. Then later, we made more and more video news. Basically, try to against the stereotype from the mainstream society. And the last one, we got the Best Citizen Journalism Award last year. And basically, this video news will try to against the stereotype. Like this one, most people think homeless people don't work. They are lazy bones. But this documents the whole day their working conditions. And this one, we made this video news 2 months before presidential election. Because people usually think homeless people only concern food. And they don't have ability to express their thinking logically. But in this one, they talk about their opinion and they criticize the so-called democratic system, the representative democracy. And also, during winter, we make the news how to keep warm in winter. It challenges the concept of information. I mean, information doesn't have to be helpful for capital accumulation. For them, it's important to know how to keep warm. And knowledge doesn't have to come from professionals. It can come from common people and our daily experience. And then try to find a more convenient way for homeless people to use and express their thinking. We also set up a photography workshop last summer. Unlike other photography workshops, we have different difficulties. First, most homeless people, they are afraid of camera or communication technology because camera was a symbol of power and used to be a weapon to invade their privacy. So you have to overcome the fear first. And then later you have to build the confidence because they think, how can I do this? I don't know how to turn on the camera or turn off. Oh, by the way, those cameras are disposable camera or used one borrowed from friends. So it's important to build confidence. And later the teaching strategy is different. We reject overemphasis on technology and skill. The most important thing is people there. So those pictures represent their living experience. Following their steps, you can see the corners in Taipei City and their concern about other lower class people and homelessness from their perspective. For example, they live in Taipei train station, night market. They also take a lot of pictures like back street, parks, temples, wherever they live or stay. Actually, it's pretty exciting, like the park. They take picture from early morning, 5 a.m. to the whole night. And you can see all kinds of activities happen in this place. And other lower class people like street vendor and migrant worker. This one is interesting. You can see their disabled employer on the right side, and on the left side are migrant workers. And it's a time for people to talk. Also, other working class is he's 80 years old and repair shoes for 55 years. And they also document their own activities, like take picture for their own friend, and they went to other activities. This one apparently will go there for food. It's during Ghost Month in July. Ghost Month is for a summer vacation for ghosts. Every ghost go out, and they need food. So we have to buy cookies, drinks for ghosts. And after the ceremony, and it's our time to eat. So during July, homeless people are pretty busy. You have to go to these ceremonies and eat as much as possible during this month. So people start to feel that they are forming a community. So they draw a symbol to represent themselves. They feel like they are like the plants, struggle to survive. Yes, this one. And the whole process, the philosophy is different. People try doing things first. If we don't have something, we might try to get money and go to buy it. But the whole process, people try to, the first thinking is how to make it by ourselves first and don't have to spend money. So with a sign and a dehumidifier, we can make a studio. Also, we reject professional aesthetics, that anchor doesn't have to be beautiful. Reporter doesn't have to speak fluently. And that's a newsroom. Shabby. And the dehumidifier is there. That day, we need a desk. And oh, we don't have a desk. But there's a dehumidifier, so we use that. So everything, we don't have to spend money because like video camera was borrowed from friend. And we make other things by ourselves. So it's a challenge from dire poverty. It's a challenge for everyone in the group. And also its weakness. We witness the social contradiction in Taiwan society. Like Bao, he is 52 years old, and he spent all his life in garment factory. All he knows is ironing the clothes. 7 years ago, he lost his job and became homeless. In the beginning, he made fun of other people's picture and ridicule other people. But the reason why he did that is because he was so nervous about camera, but he really wanted to join it. And now that's his picture. And that is also his part-time job. I mean, when we have religious parade, sometimes they hire homeless people to do some job. So he takes his picture about his job. And it's spring autumn. She is female homeless people. She's illiterate. So photography provides a new way for her to express her thinking. And now that is the greatest comfort for her after losing her husband for 3 years. And she goes out to take picture every day, almost every day right now, and feel happy with this. And that is the class. So people are trying hard just like the planes. So thank you very much.